Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
I am sure I told him what my opinion of it is. And past that, we had no substantive conversation.
You did not.
Okay. Is there something you didn't understand?
That I was in high school before I knew that the South had lost the Civil War. That with the way everybody talked, that I thought they had won. I wonder how long we will go on with the 2020 election. Is that going to last another 150 years where everybody's complaining about something? Let me just reply, and I won't tarry with you long. All of what they have said is the General Assembly can do this. The General Assembly has the authority. Sure they do. But it has to be the General Assembly and not just some one body of the General Assembly. Let's just use a little common sense. Does the General Assembly have the right to issue a subpoena by a proper resolution? They do. If it's signed by the governor, it has to have the force and effect of law. You know, the first thing I do when I'm researching something, I go to the title. So you go to Title 45, which deals with subpoenas. And it says, in addition to the power conferred on the Attorney General, the governor or the General Assembly is authorized to likewise make investigations to issue subpoenas. Not just the Senate or some committee of the Senate. Now, let me, Mr. Belafonte, who's a good lawyer, his daddy was one of our oral surgeons in Cobb County. Good fellow. He was a Democrat, too. He'd slip me a little contribution every once in a while. I don't know what happened to Josh. But in any regard, he's had a tough. What he's trying to say is, well, we can do anything. One body of the General Assembly can act on behalf of the General Assembly. That is not what the Constitution says. The Constitution says the General Assembly shall be composed of a Senate and the House of Representatives. It is not one body. And then he says, well, the Constitution says we can investigate. You can investigate till the cows come home. You just can't subpoena anybody. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason when we pass this statute. There's a reason that we didn't put in the Constitution. They shall investigate and shall have the right to subpoena or compulsory service. There was a reason. And you know what the reason was? Because from time to time, one body of the General Assembly could go crazy and could do something. And my brother says, well, All we're doing is just investigating the district attorney's office, all of the district attorneys, and how they hire special assistants. Let's look at what they said in the resolution. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Georgia Senate through public reports and court filing that Fani Willis, District Attorney of the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, which comprises Fulton County, has been accused of various forms of misconduct relating to the prosecutions of cases related to the 2020 presidential election. If that is, this is not saying let's go investigate how district attorneys operate so we know how to appropriate. This is singling out one person in one case, the 2020 presidential election. And one district attorney is not an investigation as to the general authority and the general appropriation and how in the Okmulgee circuit or in the Glenn circuit, how they are expending money. Singles out one person in one case. And as the Supreme Court said in Trump and Mazars, we would be blind not to see what all others see. This is nothing but seeking to embarrass a district attorney, one district attorney, not all of them, one district attorney. And it is nothing but to determine what the case was against Donald Trump. Now, I'll leave it to another judge or another court to say where he can be prosecuted under a state statute or under a state law while he's president. The people of the United States, in their wisdom, has decided to elect him as president. But that does not mean that there should be allowed a vendetta against one district attorney to embarrass her when she's already been embarrassed. Listen, it's very clear. What they're trying to say is, no, there's no authority to do this. This is just implied. It's just something that we can bring in, something we can reach out there and have. What other implied powers might they have? Implied powers, as the Supreme Court of Georgia says, should be strictly construed. Do they have the right? I was a member of the state Senate at one time. Say, we want to investigate former members of the state Senate for what they've been doing since they left, because it might bring disrepute upon us now. Listen, this is an important issue. Can you allow one? The beauty of our system is it's balanced, checks and balance. The Senate can do certain things. The House can do certain things. They can discipline their own members. They can provide when a committee meets. They can they can investigate. But when they go outside that door that is the Senate, they have to have specific authority to do so. And to bring somebody, drag them in by compulsory service. We think the law is clear. The General Assembly knows how to create the power of a subpoena. But it's the General Assembly and not just a house of the General Assembly, either the House or the Senate, that must act. Thank you, Honor.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks, you all. As soon as I make a decision, I'll get an order of fine.
Would you like a proposed order?
If they've given one, I'd love to get one from
We'll
your
get
side.
one. We'll send you one.
All right. Thank you so much.